What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be giving 5 tips to all high school filmmakers. And these apply to all filmmakers, but it's a little bit more specific to high school filmmakers. So tip number 1 is don't be too ambitious, okay? So one of the biggest ways that high school filmmakers, fail is because they're way too ambitious. They're writing a script that is like 2 hours long and they're trying to make a feature film with like over 100 people. That is almost unrealistic for most high school filmmakers. I spent 4 months on one short film that had like only less than 10 people. That's how long it took me to make an 8-minute short film. Imagine making that but like 10 times it. That's 40 months. And that's gonna be way too much money. And it's not going to be realistic. So the best way to make short films starting out as a high school filmmaker is to keep the cast as small as possible, keep the crew as small as possible, because that allows you to actually create something and finish creating it. When you have more than like 10 people per se, it's so hard to get everyone on set at the same time because everyone has stuff to do in high school. Everyone's busy. All your actors are going to be doing something, and it's going to be really hard the more actors you have to get all of them together for this movie. So what I would recommend is just write a script with a few people. Save the features for the future. Don't work on something crazy when you have a budget of like $1,000. Don't make like a Christopher Nolan movie because that's not realistic. And if you want it to be actually good, keep it short in the beginning because most high schoolers don't have the resources to make a crazy blockbuster movie starting out. Everyone in high school that I've seen write a long script never finishes. Either they shorten it or they just don't do it at all. So try not to be way too ambitious in high school and just focus on making those short films to, develop your skills. Alright, tip number 2. You have to learn as much as possible starting out. Whether it's through watching movies, analyzing it, whether it's through YouTube videos or whatever, you have to learn as much as possible right now. Right now in high school, you have a lot more time to develop your skills, so you have to make sure you learn as much as possible. Watch as many YouTube videos like from Film Riot, from Studio Binder, from Lessons from a Screenplay. Watch as many videos as possible to get an understanding of how filmmaking works. Or you can watch my videos. I mean, that's cool too. I made a video in the past on the best channels to learn filmmaking, so just check out the description for that. But you have to make sure you learn how filmmaking works before creating a bunch of short films. You have to learn it first. You have to start walking before you start running. So make sure you learn as much as possible on how to create stories, on how to create, film, and how to edit and all that. You have to learn as much as possible right now. Tip number 3. You have to create as much as possible. One of the best ways of learning is creating, actually. With more films under your belt, you're gonna get more experience on how to operate a camera, on how to write a story, on how to edit, and you'll get plenty of feedback from people. Here's a clip of my first ever film. And here's a clip of something I made a few months ago. Notice the difference between what I made several years ago and what I made now. It's extraordinary because when you create more and more, you just get better and better. Some of the best directors in the world, like Martin Scorsese or Christopher Nolan, they all started somewhere and they created as much as possible, making their skills better and better. And that's why they can make all these amazing movies now. It's because they've made so many in the past and they've learned from all these movies they've made in the past. Alright, tip number 4. Take pictures. Learn to take photography is so important to improving your cinematography. One of the biggest mistakes when you're filming something is your shot is off-centered, you have framing issues, and when you learn how to take pictures, that's like one of the foundations to taking videos. Because once you know how to frame something, light something in a picture, you can do that on film. It's basically taking millions of pictures when you're recording a video. So to be able to take good pictures allows you to get so much better in framing your shots, in lighting, and in cinematography. So make sure you learn to take photos. That will help you a lot in recording videos. Alright, last but not least, tip number 5, and that is get good feedback. So one of the best ways to improve as a filmmaker is to learn from what you did wrong, and one of the best ways to learn what you did wrong is through others' opinions. Get trusted adults to look at your films, get your friends to look at your films, and ask what you can do better, what they don't like, what they liked. Submit it to film festivals, show teachers. What I did with a lot of my movies is every time I finish a movie, I send it out to all my friends and show a lot of my teachers and get feedback on what they think, so then I can improve in the future. An example would be last time when I shot a movie, The Reunion actually. I don't know, you probably can't see the poster, but that time when I shot a movie, I sent it to one of my friends, and they said they didn't really like the blood, so they gave me a lot of feedback. So in the next movie, the makeup for the blood was a lot more realistic than the previous movies. That's just one example from one person. Imagine when you can send it to a lot of people and get a lot of feedback. You can improve so much more. So all in all, to improve as a high school filmmaker, just make sure you're not way too ambitious and wasting time on stuff that is unrealistic. Make sure you learn as much as possible from all those YouTube channels and from all those movies that are already out there. And then make sure you create as much as possible. To improve, you have to make it. Start making it right now. Grab your phone, grab a camera, whatever. Just go out, create content. And then make sure you start learning photography. Learning to take pictures will improve your video immensely. And then last but not least, make sure you get good feedback from your peers. In that way, you can learn from your mistakes and improve in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed these tips. More filmmaking tutorials and videos coming soon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.